What is up, hammerheads? Welcome back to the campsite. Today, well, we're making char cloth. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's talk about what char material is. Char material is anything that's natural, organic, that is burnt without oxygen. So using this piece of 100% cotton blue jean right here, and this is one of my primary go-tos to make char, you can see how when I burn it, it turns it into this charcoal type material that catches a spark really well. Now, I'm sorry guys, the sun is horrible right now where it's at. Maybe you can see it good like that. So I'm gonna char 3 different kinds of material in 3 different kinds of containers. So the first container is just your standard cookie tin, one of the tubes, I'm sorry. But you need to poke a hole in the top of it. If you don't, it'll blow the cap off because it's creating gas. Now, inside here, I have a bunch of different kinds of wood. I have some cedar that I've never used before. I have some walnut, and I have some bamboo. I've never done bamboo either. Now, I don't like using pine because there's so much resin in it that whenever it heats up to make the char, the resin melts out into the bottom and it messes everything up. So keep that in mind when you're looking for stuff. If it's a real resiny tree like a pine, don't use it. Now, this cedar's been aged for a long time, so it's just a cedar plank that I had that I think will do okay, but I'm curious how it does getting charred. The next thing I'm gonna do, which I'm doing in the Altoids tin, which all my fire kits come in, is I'm doing just some blue jean material that I've cut up, some old jeans, but I'm not poking a hole in this because I heard if it's hinged that it won't pop the top off. So I'm gonna try that. I'm very curious to see if it'll work or not because it is sealed, but with that hinge like it is, I'm thinking it'll work fine. I've always poked a hole in them, so we'll see what happens. And finally, I have some material that did not char completely. You can see that you can still see the blue jean, and I'm going to re-char it. You can char material as many times as you need to. It will not over-char. Now, I don't like using real thin material because it gets real brittle, and I don't like using super thick material because it takes so long for it to char, but something about as thick as a canvas to blue jean or t-shirt material works really well. So those are the 3 materials that I'm using, guys. We're gonna take it over to the fire. It's about ready, and we're gonna get some stuff charred. Now, you don't want a roaring fire to do this, guys, because it can mess up your tin. But just a fire like what I've got, that you would cook over, works perfect. All right, guys, if you can see right there coming out of the hole of the one that has the wood in it, you see the smoke coming out. That's what you want to see. When the smoke stops, guys, then you can take it off the fire and let it cool down completely before you open it. If you open it before it is cooled down and it's still super hot, it will catch on fire immediately because it is heated up to burning material, burning temperatures. So keep that in mind, guys, but that is what you're looking for right there. Little tin's doing good down there. That tin's doing good. I'm gonna move the little tin to another spot so we can see it better. Right here, we got a little flame trying to start. That's the gases burning off of that. Now, I was trying to clear out that hole because it got clogged up and made it a little too big, so I might have just ruined that little bit of char. You just need a tiny pinhole. But I've been using this tin so much, I think I finally almost burnt through it, really. This was probably its last go. But move it off of your fire a little bit. I'm gonna let it burn for just a second, but move it off your fire a little bit so it's not getting as much heat. So I'm gonna take a little fork right here and move this over here. Blow that fire out, set it right there on top. All right, here's our little tin, and it looks like it's doing very well. Doesn't look like the lid's popped off of it or anything. Get it dug out, put it about right here so we can see it better. So all of them are doing good, guys. It just takes a little bit of time for all this to happen. All right, guys, so we had an unfortunate accident. The lid came off of this one while it was getting hot, and it caught on fire. Be careful with it, guys. I noticed that it was starting to get too hot, and I went to move it and popped the lid off of it, and it instantly caught on fire. That sucks, but we'll do this experiment again. All right, guys. So let's talk about what we've done. This one's still really hot, so I'm leaving it alone. These two have cooled down. This one's cooled down completely. So let's see how we did. We got char cloth. Now I did notice about 3/4 of the way through the charring process that the tin popped open. But if you can see right here, right there is where the smoke comes out from. And when you close it, it kind of closes it off a little bit. So you might still want to poke a hole on top of it if you end up having some problems. Oh, cool. My logo still stayed in there. But let's test a piece out. Always got to test your char cloth out to see how well it'll catch a spark. Now, as I said, guys, I like using one that has a little bit of a frayed edge, like this. So it has a little bit more finer material to catch into. And as you can see, guys, it caught up perfect. Now, I don't like going any thinner than this material here. I actually prefer like old blue jean material. I know that makes no sense, but like old, what is it, Levi jeans from like the 90s, or old work pants, Carhartts, things like that. Similar style pants, like Carhartt and things like that. I like using those because it's a little bit thicker jean material, and it lasts, or it chars up a lot better, and it catches a spark and lasts longer than some of these do. Now, this one popped open on us, but I pulled it off the fire and threw the cap on it to see if I could save it. Now, the bottom of it's still pretty warm, but I'm able to hold it. See if I can get it open and see what we got. Yeah, we saved some. See what we got in here. As you can see, we got char. Now, if I didn't pull it off the fire when I did, I would have lost it. There is some bamboo. That's the cedar piece right there. It charred up very well. Oh yeah, charred up perfect. This one's almost cooled down enough, guys. All right, guys, let's open up this tin. And look at there. It's char cloth. It's charred all the way in, all the way through. I have found if you don't fold it super thick, like this one is, it chars a lot better. Let's see how this will catch a spark. Oh, it catches great, guys. Look at that. Very nice, very nice. This was a little bit thicker blue jean material. This was more of the work pants, like the Carhartts and stuff. It was more like that. All right, guys, so that is making char 3 different ways. Now, I got these two to ignite up quick. I'll admit, I'm not the best at getting the sticks to ignite. I have got them to catch before. It just took me some practice, and I have not done it in a long time. But I wanted to show you how to make the char material like this. Because one thing is, if you get it to catch an ember, you can use this to transport. So if you're needing to transport fire, you can get some charcoal pieces, your charred stick pieces, and transfer your ember a distance with it and it helps you out in your next fire and you're not having to use resources. But guys, I'm not going to get a that's real or let's get real for a minute because we talked about everything while we were making it. But that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one. God bless. Keep hammering.